Am I the asshole? For not meeting up with my mom after she missed my wedding? My mom remarried when I was a kid and had another kid, Jack, who is currently 15. I'm 23. Anyways, I got married a month ago and it was nice, but my mom's family did not attend. I was devastated, but my dad's side and everyone else made up for it. When my mom finally contacted me the night after she told me that Jack had gotten into an accident a couple nights before he was with an older friend of his who crashed the car. He's physically fine but was pretty spooked and refused to get into the car, but they couldn't leave him alone because they were worried. Mom said she was going to come by herself or with my step-siblings, but then there was an issue with the car, which was caused by Jack freaking out when they were first getting ready to leave. She then said she was going to call an Uber to get to the wedding, but Jack had passed out from the stress, so she couldn't leave because she was terrified something happened to him. I understand, but if I'm being honest, I don't know if I believe my mom 100. She sounded pretty apologetic, but I'm still upset that no one let me know. Apart from my mom, Jack, and my stepdad who might have been way too preoccupied, my step-siblings are all over 16 years old with phones of their own. Couldn't they have told me? My mom asked me if we could meet, but I honestly didn't want to see her in that moment. Though her absence was valid, she's never at any of my big events because of Jack. It might be pure coincidence, but I just didn't want to see her. I was and am still upset. My mom was annoyed by this and told me the world doesn't revolve around me, and I have no right to be upset over her not being there now that I know why. I told her that I don't care, I don't want to see her. In fact, I'm very angry at her. She told me that I'm being selfish, and that she won't be contacting me anymore until I apologize because she cannot handle my childish tantrums on top of everything else. IDK. I think I should have just said okay and met up with her, but I'm hurt. She still hasn't talked to me though, and she usually doesn't go through with her threats. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your mother has 2 days to contact you before the wedding and tell you what was going on with your half-brother. She could have contacted you or someone in the bridal party the day off and explain her absence. She decided, along with the rest of the family, to be a no-show. She's in the wrong. She told me that I'm being selfish, and that she won't be contacting me anymore until I apologize because she cannot handle my childish tantrums on top of everything else. Don't hold your breath, lady, no one owes you an apology. Not the asshole. Her whole story sounds like BS, TBH. Maybe time to evaluate your relationship with your mother. Not the asshole. I think it's reasonable to feel disappointed and angry. If they were going to miss the event, they should have told you so. Also, I find it is very hard to believe a 15-year-old would act so childish. Trauma is a thing, of course, so them not wanting to travel in a car is fair. But then stopping their family members from traveling in a car themselves seems hella suspect. Then he passed out from stress? I call BS. You say you understand, but I don't. Those sound like lame excuses. If I had a daughter getting married, I would not skip it for my other child unless his life was in danger. And your mom was annoyed? I can't even imagine being annoyed at my daughter because she's upset I missed her wedding. That is just like Crazyville to me. You're right to be hurt. Your mom isn't behaving the way a mom ought. ETA, congratulations on your wedding, and I'm glad your dad's side of the family was there for you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I'm really sorry you're in this situation. You might tell her, next time a big event is coming up, I'm not going to bother inviting you, because Jack will just find some way to keep you from coming anyway. This is one of those cases when you refuse to argue. She could have called, she could have asked someone to call. She's shown you who she is, and what you mean to her, and you need to stop hoping she'll do anything other than try to make you the one at fault. Meeting up with her would have just given more opportunity to try to persuade herself and you that you're the problem. Not the asshole. My mom was annoyed by this and told me the world doesn't revolve around me. It was your wedding day, FFS. There aren't many bigger days than that in your life. I'm sorry your mum is turning this around to make you seem like the bad person. If I were you, I would react in the same way. Not the asshole. You are not overreacting. Your mom just made it clear that not only does the world not revolve around you, but her world doesn't revolve around you even on your wedding day. I'm glad your dad's side and your friends were there to celebrate your union. See if you can give your mom exactly as much priority as she gives you, for a while. Not the asshole. I'm a mom and I would move heaven and earth to attend the wedding of my child. There is no excuse for not having contacted you immediately after the accident. She could have arranged care for Jack, but her excuses sound flimsy. I'm glad your father's side of the family were there to celebrate you. Congratulations on your wedding. I wish you much happiness. Not the asshole. She missed your wedding. That's huge. It's your special day, and she couldn't even make it because poor little Jackie Poo was stressed. Do not feel guilty over your anger, and do not back down here either. This was huge, and she's trying to play it off like it's no big deal. She knows she screwed up big time, and is somehow willing to risk it all by doubling down. Call her bluff. Nope, not the asshole. Your mother screwed up big time. And instead of apologizing profusely for not being there and hurting you by not being there, she's now turning you into the villain. Pretty bold of her to say you're throwing a tantrum when she's the one saying she's not going to talk to you anymore until you apologize. Not the asshole. I'm even the mom in a blended family with a big age gap between kids, and I think this sounds like BS. In your mom's shoes, I would have been proactive with communication. I would have let you know immediately about the car accident, just for awareness. I would have left my younger child at home with his dad if he wasn't able to attend the wedding. But there's no way in hell I'd voluntarily skip my child's wedding with no communication. You see the circumstances that were shared here. I'm sorry your mom is such a dud. OP, you deserve better. Oh fam, you got to hit her with the classic yeah the world doesn't revolve around me. But my world doesn't revolve around you, either. She didn't even make the time to communicate with you. Why would you make any time, at all, for a person like that? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. It sounds like there's something fishy going on. Either Jack is manipulating your mom to grab all of the attention, or your mom has some strange psychological thing going on with wanting to lavish all of her attention on Jack. I don't blame you for being upset. You have a right to be angry or upset about it, and your mother doesn't get to dictate how you feel. You two need to sit down and hash this out. Your mom sounds really defensive, so I don't really have high hopes, but she at least needs to hear you out. Not the asshole. Just reply, don't worry about it, Dad was there for me. My mom told me the world doesn't revolve around me and I have no right to be upset. Told me that I'm being selfish and she cannot handle my childish tantrums. Wow, just wow. Not the asshole. Your world should revolve around you on your wedding. That's the whole point of a wedding, to celebrate you and your spouse. You aren't being selfish about this. And it's rich to call you childish and having tantrums, when all of the above is apparently what happened at her home, apparently preventing her from attending. Not the asshole. Your mom phoned you after your wedding, but didn't think to reach out to you before. That's no okay. Not the asshole. Your mom sits on a throne of lies. Or exaggerated half-truths, but that doesn't have the same ring to it. I don't see an apology from her in your story for missing your wedding, but she expects one from you for being upset. How did "I'm sorry for missing your wedding" turn into "you owe me an apology for not accepting my questionable reasoning"? I'm going to use that overused word gaslighting, because that's what this sounds like. You're probably better off if she stays NC. You can enjoy being a newlywed, drama-free. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Though she's right that the world doesn't revolve around you, apparently it revolves around your half-brother. She didn't lie when she told you the world doesn't revolve around you, it revolves around Jack. Not the asshole.